Let's take up the next numerical. A player throws a ball upwards with an initial speed of 29.4 meter per second. Now you see there are 4 sub questions, so I will take each sub question at a time. So I will just read the first question, answer it, and then go to the second. What is the direction of acceleration during the upward motion of the ball? So the only data that we have is the ball is being thrown upwards and it is moving with an initial speed of 29.4 meter per second. Here we need to find out the the direction of acceleration during the upward motion of the ball. So we know that acceleration during a free fall or whenever the ball is thrown upwards is always directed towards the center of the earth. So it is always directed down in the downward direction. So the answer to the first question is acceleration is directed in the downward direction. Right. Now let's take the second question, the second sub question. What are the velocity and acceleration of the ball at the highest point of motion? So we know that at the highest point of motion the velocity of the ball is 0 and the acceleration again is directed in the downward direction and it will experience an acceleration equal to 9.8 meter per second square. So at the highest point the velocity of the ball is 0 and the acceleration experienced by the ball is 9.8 meter per second square. It is always equal to the acceleration due to gravity, which is nothing but g, right. Now let's answer the third question. What is the third question? Choose x is equal to 0 and t is equal to 0 to be the location and time of the ball at its highest point. Okay. Vertically downward direction to be the positive direction of x axis and give signs of position, velocity and acceleration of the ball during its upward and downward motion. Okay, so this is pretty simple. Now it says that we have to assume that the downward direction to be the positive direction. So this here it is 0, 0. So this becomes the time axis. We have been asked to assume that this is the positive x direction. So certainly if I start graduating this will be 1 meter, 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters, so on and so forth in the direction. So this is 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds and 4 seconds, where x is in meter and t is in seconds, right. Now we have to find out what are the signs of x, v and a during upward and downward motion, right. So during the upward motion, let's take up the upward motion first. What are the values of these? So when it is moving along the upward direction, when the ball is thrown in the upward direction, you see that it is moving along the positive x axis, hence the value of x is certainly positive, right. What will happen to the velocity of the ball when it is moving in the upward direction? It is experiencing an acceleration in the downward direction, right. So therefore the velocity has to decrease. Now since the velocity decreases, we say that velocity will have a negative sign. What does this negative sign indicates? This only indicates that the velocity of the ball is decreasing in the upward direction and it is approaching 0, right. Now what will happen to the acceleration? Acceleration irrespective of the motion always remains negative, because we always take the acceleration as minus g during a free fall. So you can always write it as negative irrespective of the upward or downward motion. Now what will happen during downward motion, right? So downward motion, x starts moving in this direction, so it moves along the positive x axis, so x remains positive. What happens to velocity? Velocity is in the direction of acceleration, therefore velocity is increasing. So increasing velocity is denoted by positive sign. So what happens to acceleration? Acceleration is always negative by convention during a free fall, therefore a becomes negative. So we have answered all the 3 questions, right? The next question, to what height does the ball rise? So you have to calculate the distance that the ball travels, the maximum distance that the ball travels, and after how long does the ball return to the player's hands. So you have to calculate the total time. So he is throwing the ball up and then he is catching it back. So you have to calculate the time it takes to reach the maximum height position and then come back to the initial position. So total time taken, okay, the time of ascent plus the time of descent. So to do that, we have to do a simple calculation, for which I will first write down what we have. So we have the initial velocity of the ball as 29.4 meter per second, which is given in the numerical. We know the final velocity of the ball is 0, and we know acceleration, which is minus g, which is equal to minus 9.8 meter per second square. So we know these values. We have to calculate the total distance travelled delta x, which is the maximum height, and we have to calculate the time. So we can use equations of motion. So I just use this equation, v square is equal to v naught square plus 2 into a into delta x. But here in this case a is minus g, so which we will substitute later. So v, how much is v? It is 0. v naught square is 29.4 whole square plus 2 into g is minus 9.8 into delta x. So therefore this will be 0 is equal to 29.4 whole square. So this is minus, if you multiply this, this becomes 2 8s are 16, 2 9s are 18 plus 1 19. So this becomes you 19.6, because you have a decimal after one digit, into delta x. So what we need is delta x. So if I bring it on this side, this will be 19.6 delta x is equal to 29.4 into 29.4. So this simply implies delta x will be equal to 29.4 into 29.4 whole divided by 19.6. So now we will have to do a little multiplication. So let's multiply how much is 29.4 into 29.4, right? So 4 4s are 16, carry 4 9s are 36, this becomes 37. So 4 2s are 8 plus 3 11, 9 4s are 36, 9 9s are 81 plus 3 84. So 9 2s are 18 plus 1, 18 plus 8 will be 26. So 2 4s are 8, 2 9s are 18, and you carry over 1, 2 2s are 4 plus 1 5. So overall you have 6, 7 plus 6 is 13. So this becomes 6 plus 8 is 14. So 8 plus 8 is 16, and this is 8. So you have a decimal after one digit and one digit, so totally it is decimal after 2 digits. So delta x is basically 864 0.36 whole divided by 19.6. Now I have to eliminate the decimals. I see that there is a decimal after 2 digits, so I multiply it with the 2-digit 0 number, which is 100. 100 by 100 is 1, so that doesn't change any value. Now if I do multiply, I get delta x is equal to 86436, so 00, so you would keep the decimal point after 2 digits, and 19600, you keep the decimal after 1 digit, so it becomes 1960. So now we will just divide this. 86436, so I think I can multiply it by 4. Let me do the working here, this side. So 1960 into 4 should be 4 zeros are 0, 4 6 are 24, 4 9s are 36 plus 2 38, 4 1s are 4, so it is 7840, which is a lesser number. So if I multiply by 5, it will be a higher number, so I'll take this. I'll go for this. So it is 3 0, 16 minus 8 is 8, so I again multiplied by 4, so I get 6. 13 minus 4 is 9, and 9 minus 1 is 8, so I keep a decimal point, I get a 0, so 1s are 600, so it completely gets divided. So delta x, which is the maximum height the ball can reach, is 44.1 meters. Okay. Now we have to calculate the time it takes to reach the player's hand. So I use this formula, v is equal to v naught plus 80, v is 0, v naught is again 29.4, a is minus g, so that will be minus 9.8 into t. So this, if I bring it on this side, this becomes 9.8 into t is equal to 29.4. Therefore t is equal to 29.4 divided by 9.8. Now since you have a decimal after 1 digit, multiply the numerator and denominator by 10 by 10, which will not change its value. So it becomes 2940 divided by 980. Keep the decimal point after 1 digit again. So it is totally 294 divided by 98. So if you divide it by 2 tables, it will be 2 4s are 2 9s are 2 1s are 2, 2 4s are 8, 2 7s are 14, 49 1s and 49 3s are. So it is 3 seconds for the ball to reach the maximum position. Similarly, it will certainly take 3 seconds to reach the player's hand. So the total time it takes, total time will be equal to 3 plus 3, which is going to be 6 seconds.